Hey family, just wanted to catch up a little bit, let you know what we've been up to. I've just come back from the island of Tanna, which is just south of Port Vila, the Vanuatu Islands, and been over there just having a little bit more of a look to see what needs to be done in regard to water there. Some of you already know that Vanuatu's been through a major hurricane with Hurricane Pam, and now it's entering into an El-Nino season. United Nations are saying that there won't be likely hardly any water for the next 6 months, and they're bracing themselves for a huge humanitarian disaster. And so what we're doing over there is trying to run some water for some of the villages and compounds in an area called the King's Cross region. And we need help. We actually need people to be praying for us, people to come with us as part of the team. Most important need is to find funds. We started off with a $33,000 budget, but now that's jumped up to about $157,000, which is crazy. We need to purchase and lay 7 kilometres of 63 mil pipe. We need a trench digger on the back of a tractor so that we can bury it, because only in burying it is it going to future-proof it. If we can bury it, it'll last 100 years. We're looking at getting a 100,000 litre tank to store water in, and just as the water comes down from a natural spring up in the mountains, we went up and checked that natural spring and followed the pipe down. It's just full of holes everywhere. Only 30% of the water actually gets down to the first village, and then after that it just gets less and less and less. Most of it just drains out into the jungle basically. By the time it gets to the last couple of villages, the pipe's completely dry, and for some of those villages they haven't had any water, they tell me, for over 4 years. So there is a school or two that it bypasses that we want to put back tanks, 3 10,000 litre back tanks, and about 20 1,100 litre tanks on the way down to provide water. It's a crazy thing to see people carting water up out of a valley 10 litres at a time. It's quite heavy. That's 10 kilos of weight that you have to carry. As I was heading down to have a look where they get the water from to bring up to their villages or compounds, there was a 9 or 10-year-old girl carrying a 10 litre container of water, which is quite heavy, especially when you're climbing up a bank that's quite vertical. And I thought I'd give her a hand, big hero that I was. Carried it the last 10 metres basically. It wasn't very much, but it made me appreciate what we have in New Zealand. We got so much. You know, these guys in Vanuatu, they're just our next door neighbours. You know, remember the story of the Good Samaritan? And the question was asked, who is my neighbour? Well, I want to suggest to you that these people are our neighbours. Why are we supporting these people from Tanna? Well, primarily over 300 of them come from that island to the Bay of Plenty every year to help us with the kiwi fruit. And they came over here just as the hurricane hit their island and destroyed most of the houses and did incredible damage to hospitals and schools and crops and all sorts of crazy things. Now we're hearing reports of El-Nino, and there's already been some unconfirmed stories about little young babies dying because of malnutrition, and families trying to give their kids away to other families in Vila so that their kids might have a chance of surviving. I think as Christians, if you are a Christian and listening to this, be really good if we could do something about it. You can pray, you can come with us as part of the team, you can put your hand in your pocket and maybe give a few dollars to this project. We've got about $20,000 and we need about $157,000. I wrote a letter to Jerry Brownlee to ask him and a couple of the other MPs to ask them about the possibility of getting one of their C-30 Air Force planes to fly in 100 cubic metres of material that we want to try and erect in the area that we're working in. We need prayer for that. It's not just going to happen. They're considering it, but we need prayer. We need prayer that the local government there or the national government in Vanuatu will just open up some doors so we can fly the aid in that's needed there. Is it an opportunity to share the Christian message? Absolutely. These guys, at the bottom of the hill from the source where the water comes from are only getting 30% of the water that, at the beginning of the track. And then when it gets down there, it just becomes less and less. And I think in the islands, it's a place where people are hungry and thirsting after spiritual things. Not only can we give these guys physical water, but we can also give them spiritual water. And so I want to encourage you to get involved in some way, pray, come with us, give some money towards this project. That would be really appreciated. I'm going to put a little link on here so that if you want to, you can even make a payment online if you can help. Thank you for those of you, by the way, that have given already. We really, really appreciate it. And I promise you your money will not be wasted. And in the kingdom to come, you're going to see some of the fruit of that. So God bless you. Please pray for this project. Please keep us in your mind. If you feel like God wants you to come with us, then give me a call and I'll give you some details of how that can be possible. Okay, God bless you.